I felt something when I read this. This is Doja Cat says, everything is dead to me. Music is dead. Appears to quit music. And I felt this, and I'll explain why. But basically it says, I'm an effing fool for ever thinking I was made for this. She tweeted, I imagine that is a very common thing to think about when you're like in a very high stress job where you're like, it's everything you ever worked for, but now you have to like live up to those expectations that you set for yourself. And this comes off to me as just stress. Like she's venting stress, like, but not in the most productive way. One that her record label, I'm sure, will not like. Right. So it says, Doja Cat appeared ready to quit her music career on Thursday, March 24th, in a series of tweets in which the 26-year-old singer expressed her frustration, going so far as to change her Twitter handle to the pointed, I quit. It's gone, and I don't give an F anymore. I effing quit. I can't wait to effing disappear, and I don't need you to believe in me anymore. Doja then wrote in the early morning hours of Friday, everything is dead to me. Music is dead, and I'm an effing fool for ever thinking I was made for this effing nightmare. Unfollow me. The tweet was directed at 3 people, including NBC Sports, Telemundo Sports, production assistant Robert Rojas. After Doja tweeted, I'm sorry, in response to a tweet that called her public enemy number 1, Rojas replied with Doja, you're not going to win this fight against the Paraguayans. So basically what happened was she was like, she was there for a show that got rained out. There was like even bigger. There was like even a bigger storm than that. So it says Doja headlining set at Paraguay's, I don't know how to pronounce this word, Asuncion.
That sounds good.
Where are you at, bud? Sorry. Okay, I got it now.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. So it was a festival.
Okay.
On March 22nd, it was canceled after the country suffered intense flooding caused by a major storm. Miley Cyrus was also impacted by the flooding in Paraguay. This also had her. She got her plane got hit by lightning on the way to that show. Whoa. So it seems like it was just kind of doomed from the beginning. And then she made up for her fans by making a bathtub video because it's 2022 and dignity is a thing of the past. Whatever, I don't care. That's
what I do.
I'm assuming she had. I'm assuming she had clothes on while she did that. So
I doubt she did.
God, well, no. I said that as like a joke, but then my very libertarian, I don't care what she does with her free. Like it doesn't bother me. As long as maybe they put like an age restriction on that, so 11-year-olds aren't watching Miley Cyrus in a bathtub. I don't know. So it says. A short time after Doja's tweet about quitting, Doja added, this shit ain't for me, so I'm out. Y'all take care. A follow-up tweet directed at Rojas added, I moved on. I'm just going to let everybody be mad. As well, I'm not taking pictures again with anybody else after this tour. And they go on, and so there's all these tweets from people there. Where it's from people in the area. It says... what was the one I was looking for here? I like this one from the guy who says, RIP my mentions. Like, cause, if you're a celebrity and you mention someone, you're screwed. That person's screwed because all their fans are going to go after you. But it says, the guy says, you're not going to win this fight against the Paraguayans. But then this one says, it's kind of sad. It says, I'm not taking pictures with anybody else after this tour. And the response says, it's kind of sad though, because if you handled this situation like this, I can imagine this happening again and again with other countries. And then she says, I don't think I gave Brazil a good enough show tonight at all. And I'm sorry, but thank you guys for coming out. I effing love you. And thank God we have another show tomorrow. I promise I'll do better. It just sounds like somebody under like an insane amount of stress to me.
Aren't their jobs like extra stressful because they have to worry about security, how many people they sold tickets to, and then like recently with like Travis Scott.
I don't know if that's really her responsibility to worry about. It's her job to put on a good performance. But it's just like when something like this happens and you're not getting enough sleep because you're traveling all over the world. You hold yourself to a very high standard when you do performances like this. And when you don't live up to it, it can be very frustrating. We do shows like this 5 days a week, and even I get upset at myself when a show doesn't go as well as I would have thought. I can imagine that it's about quadruple that when it's something like this, where lots of people have paid money and come out to see her. But also this comes out across a lot of these fans who are upset that she wouldn't perform as kind of like entitlement, from both sides. On one hand, you want her to be humble and understand that she has a responsibility to finish her tour dates. On the other hand, you can't make her do anything. I don't even know where to go with something like this. It just sounds to me like somebody who's been through a lot and is lashing out.
I think she's saying very serious things, quite flippantly.
Yes.
And that's kind of like an extension of her whole persona, right? Like she says shit like this all the time. I don't think she's very serious about it. I
No,
think she's
not at all.
upset in the moment. I get it. It's also it's like an absurd view into Twitter and how like she's quitting, or she says she's quitting after someone tweeted a picture of her being public enemy number 1. And that person had 14 followers, right? Like she's up against the industry of music and also someone with 14 followers.
Well, then the problem is that people report on stuff like this, and then somebody with 14 followers says something spicy, and that becomes news.
Right.
When it's not.
It's not.
We're falling into that same trap by talking. I mean, we're commenting because she chose to respond to the person with 14 followers.
Right.
But the average publication that writes these articles sees that person with 14 followers writing something the same as somebody with a massive platform, if they can use it to stoke flames for an article.
Yeah, I'm not so mad at that because I kind of like the insight into, maybe it's just a troll who made up that account just to troll someone like Doja. But like, it's also interesting for me to see this insight into like major celebrity and someone on the celebrity cast scale all the way at the bottom, fighting. When it comes to news, like a real news thing about, something big in the news, I do get upset seeing a tweet being used as the news.
Because it's not news.
Because that's not news. But when it's entertainment, it is kind of fun to talk and see what everyone thinks about these things.
What I'm saying, and my point is that it wouldn't have been news if she would have just not responded and just left it alone.
Just been gone.
And just left it alone. A lot of these people can't.
But
they don't know how to leave it alone.
She wouldn't.
They don't know how to leave it alone. I also think this is karma for the song "Get Into It," which I absolutely hate.
I don't
even know what that is.
It's if you TikTok or Instagram, you've been forced to listen to it a lot of times. So consider yourself lucky. But
I like her though. Like I like
she's saucy, as they say.
I think she's interesting.
She's got a very interesting personality.
I think she's interesting. She's got great live visuals.
Yep.
Like she's actually really good at live performances.
So it says, according to screenshots of the since deleted post. This is the part that I also wanted to make clear. This is from the second article from the Daily Mail. If you go down, it says, despite the star's pledge to quit her career, a source told TMZ on Friday that she is still planning to play a concert in Brazil this evening and is, quote, looking forward to it. So, I mean,
Twitter's not real.
Twitter's not the real world. Somebody needs to put that on a shirt.
Yes.
Twitter is not the real world.
We can make that shirt.
Somebody should. I mean, that's
Jessica. Do you hear this?
Yes.
I know you watch
Dude,
this.
this is the same woman who got or maybe mostly popular off of video of her dancing as a cow.
Yes.
Right. She's hilarious.
Yep.
She doesn't take this as serious as I think we are taking her.
But the problem is like this is why publicists were a thing. Right? Before the age of social media, everything you said was carefully curated to make sure that your public image remained, if not spotless, on brand with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And something like this, I see this as like, okay, she says she's going to quit. What does this do to ticket holders who have bought tickets for further events?
Right.
Now they're wondering, am I going to get my show?
Right.
Now she's putting undue stress on the workers at those companies.
Do you think we're worse off without the publicist?
That's a very interesting question. If you're smart enough to pay attention to what people actually say rather than what they want you to believe, you're probably better off with them the way they are now. But I think that I think the celebrities are worse off than they ever were before.
I think celebrities of the old school Hollywood don't know how to interact with the real world without a publicist anymore.
That's I have to go by
on who.
I'd have to go by a person by person example of that. But in general, in most new celebrities, I don't get the feeling just because they know how to use technology does not mean they're not detached from the world at hand.
For sure.
You saw the stuff Sean Penn was saying yesterday.
Yes.
Detached from the world. They're all detached from the world.
They are detached.
So it says heavy rainstorms in the Paraguayan capital of Asuncion. So I must have been fairly close to that. I have no idea if that's pronounced. I didn't take Spanish in high school. I took sign language. I apologize.
Well, the state that we're in, it's pretty much fine.
Okay.
To take sign language because there's so many deaf people here. We're number
That's
one.
not. But the point is, I don't know how to speak Spanish. Is what I'm saying here. That's not what I'm saying.
It's fine. Shane, did you
You're
take...
fired. I took like 12 years of Spanish and I know hola.
That's it. I took 3 years.
¿Cómo está?
I took 3 years and people are surprised that I know how to read Spanish better than speaking it.
That's funny.
Problem is, I took sign language in first period, so I was sleeping most of the time.
Nothing's learned
And
in
it's
first
very
period.
hard when you can't see what people are signing.
Yeah.
See what happened to the school system? None of us.
Don't go to
succeeded.
public schools, ladies and gentlemen. Go to
Homeschool your kids.
Montessori all the way.
Okay.
In response to the claims, Doja wrote, "This is So she deleted these posts. So theoretically, her agent called her up and said, "Yo, delete that shit before something bad happens. It said, let that. Okay, I'm going to go back to that one before. The deleted post now includes, there was a storm in Paraguay. The show got canceled. When I left the next morning, there wasn't one person outside the hotel waiting for me. Let that sink in. I regret spending all that time I did getting ready for that day for the show. I've been busting my ass to put on for you guys. God bless. Responding to fans in another removed post, Doja said, music is dead, and I asked to be unfollowed. So she's fuming, and I don't know what.
I think it's the artists who really care this much about their art that tend to say stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like Lil Wayne threatened to quit a million times.
Yeah.
He never did. And at one point, Lil Wayne to me was one of the best rappers alive.
Yeah.
Like I think, and I don't really like everything Doja does, or her. I don't think her lyrics are always great, but I think she's a really interesting artist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I really do like her live performances. They're visually stunning, and I think she's important.
I agree 100% that in a world where people can just collect a paycheck once they get to a certain pay grade, she doesn't have to care. She just needs to put on the performances and care enough to look like she's in the moment while she's giving the performance. Somebody who's actually either a perfectionist or somebody who really has become invested in their work will have episodes like that. It's almost
It happened to
unavoidable.
Lady Gaga at a certain point where the industry chewed her up and spit her out. Like they do this. The industry does this to almost every artist who comes who gets this big. I think it sucks. It sucks.
Comments down here saying attention grabbing. I don't think it's that. I don't. I think
either.
it's a byproduct of it.
I think that's the journalist projecting onto her.
Well, that wasn't them. That was I was reading the comments.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's
it's that
just like
comment they're
random
projecting.
people.
So I do think that I don't see that as attention seeking. I would say for somebody who actually cares about what they're doing, it would be an expression of frustration over the way things are going.
And like I from what I've read about her is like this is a young woman who would spend time like downloading free beats off YouTube and SoundCloud and just teaching herself to rap. Like she is her art, right? So a lot of these people are so divorced from the art because they have like Space Jam 2, a room full of writers to make everything sound what they think is perfect. And I don't know if that's fully the case with her.
Do you think they're calling her attention seeking because her dad is she's a daughter? I'm assuming that's her.
Yeah, her dad was like
a famous
writer, musician.
Oh, okay. I thought no. It says right here he was a iconic South African actor.
Oh, actor. Right. Okay. Yeah.
So do you think they're saying that because she came from a well-off family?
no.
She claims to have no relationship with him.
Yeah.
And he claims that that's wrong. So I don't know.
I don't
what
see
the
it as
deal
that.
is.
I see it as just people. Anytime somebody blows up on Twitter, they tend to make it about them being self. And I think most of the time it is self-obsession. I think it is narcissism. In this case, it looks to me more like an emotionally. She's emotionally distraught over the way things are going with her actual work. And the more somebody cares about their actual work, the happier I am. So that feels less like a celebrity and more like somebody who actually cares about the art.
Right.
So. Yeah,
She's
that
like,
was.
think of the kids.
That's well, the people who
That's
are
it.
coming to see the show, right?
Bitch, I'm a cow. Sorry.
Say that again.
Bitch, I'm a cow.
We have to make that into a shirt now. Just Shane saying that.
It's a soundbite. It's a sound. We'll use that tomorrow. All right.
Everybody make that into a GIF.
Yes. I'm a cow. I'm not saying bitch, I'm a cow. I just said bitch, I'm a cow.
You just did.
Done.
I did. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.